Welcome, Sirine, to Real Life with Ridah Khan. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad to be here.
Sirine, what a life-changing and exciting chapter in your life to go on to Britain's Got Talent, the biggest show, one of the biggest show in the world. And on national television, you did an amazing, magical audition. So how has life been, and what made you want to audition for Britain's Got Talent?
Well, first, why I wanted to audition for Britain's Got Talent. Last year, I went to the actual live shows with my friends, and we went to one of the semifinals, and I was like, oh my god, they're so amazing. And because it actually takes a lot of courage standing on stage and like singing to people or whatever your act is. So I was like, oh my god, that looks so scary. But they managed to do it, so I was like, there is no harm in trying. Like my dad's always told me to, go for it, basically. So I auditioned for Britain's Got Talent, and honestly, I didn't, at the start of the whole process, we didn't think I'd come this far whatsoever. Like I didn't even think I'd get to the live shows. Yeah, but it happened, and I was absolutely shocked. Like it's still to this moment, I'm really shocked. Like, how am I in the semifinals? And so yeah, that's the process of like how I auditioned. And how has life changed since? Well, a lot has changed in terms of like, so for example, on my Instagram, I've been getting so many messages and so much love and support from so many people, and it's been absolutely incredible. Like I didn't realize there was this much love from so many people, and it just makes me so happy. So yeah, I post a lot of singing videos and a lot of like motivational videos to inspire people, because that is the aim of what I'd like to do in the future in terms of like continuing with my music, because I'm very, very passionate about my music, but also overall inspiring people.
That's so amazing, Serena. And I'm so proud of you that you took that first step, because I think the first step is the hardest, to be able to
It
just be
really
like,
is. Yeah.
oh,
I was very unprepared. Like honestly, like Salvation was the song that I sang in my first audition. I was shaking so much. Like I was visibly nervous, and like even Alicia mentioned, like I know it's really nerve-wracking. But in the second in my semifinal I wasn't as nervous, but yeah, still nervous obviously.
you got a standing ovation, Serene. So to be able to think that, oh, I might not get to the semi-finals or something like that, to get a standing ovation is like a very big deal, because that means you've touched everyone in that auditorium's heart, and you've touched them in some kind of way, and they've stood up for you and gave you a standing ovation without even knowing you.
I didn't know they were. Yeah, I know. I didn't even know they were standing up, and I was just like, after my performance, I thought I did really badly, because I'm very, very critical of like
I was going
everything.
to say, do you think you're self-critical and you're harsh on yourself?
Very. I'm like probably the harshest like person like on myself. Like it's just like anything I do, I'm a perfectionist. I need to make it as best as I can. And I didn't feel like my first audition was amazing, but I did try nonetheless. Like I did go on stage, and it was the first time I've ever sung on stage to such a massive audience, and especially on national TV.
Yeah, that takes a lot of courage, and I think you did that so beautifully.
Thank
And
you.
you play the piano, you sing, and you do
Yeah.
songwriting as well. You're able to do all three of these things so beautifully. So how did this like passion for all three of like piano, singing, songwriting come all together?
I've always had a passion for music. Like when I was younger, I wasn't so much interested in singing, more into dancing. But when I started to take singing more seriously. But I used to sing a lot to my late grandmother, and she kind of gave me a lot of confidence. So then I continued to, I was like, oh my God, maybe I should do this, even though I was absolutely horrendous. Like I have videos of me singing at 12, and I was absolutely horrendous, like genuinely. Let alone like at 5 or 7, like it was so horrible. And yeah, so I continued to sing, and I started writing songs that like because I obviously could write at the time, so I used to like write on a piece of paper about best friends and stuff and princesses, like childish things, like
Yeah.
songwriting about that, and then I would play it on the guitar, and then and piano, those two instruments. And then at around like 10 or 11, I started to take it more seriously because that's the time when I lost my sight, because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't really do so much sports. I used to play a lot of sports when I was younger. Like used to do a lot of I used to like swim and all these kinds of things. And I kind of lost interest in those when I lost my sight, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's kind of hard to do it now. And then I moved on to music, and I'm really glad I did, because I would not be where I am right now if I hadn't moved on to music.
Sirine, it's completely so motivational. Your story is so inspiring apart from your singing. And what I've heard you say that I thought were very powerful words is that you said, because I can't see doesn't mean I can't succeed. And I think those words
Definitely.
are so powerful and uplifting, especially for like the young generation who watch you, follow you on this show. And what would you like to say to them? Because a lot of people are fighting some kind of battle, have some kind of obstacle in their life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone fights battles. Like, it doesn't matter in what form or what like shape. I struggled with my sight. Other people struggle with like different things. It doesn't have to be a disability. It can just be life in general. And it's kind of inevitable. And I just think that to never give up, because I mean, I obviously was clearly horrendous, as I said, at singing. And yet I still didn't stop. Like, I love music, and just because I was bad at the time, and I'm still developing, like I'm not amazing at all at this age. I still have so much time to develop. And I just think that you should never give up, because it plays such a big role in what people do. And I think in order to never give up, you need to what would help would be finding a passion. Like, music is one thing that I never gave up on. And I mean, just generally, like, for example, I started learning Braille at 10, and I found that really difficult. But I learned it within a month. And just generally living as a blind person without any sight. Doing things on a daily basis. And music is just one of those things. I mean, we fight battles every single day. And yeah, I always think never give up, never give up. That's something that my dad always used to tell me as a child.
No, that's very wise words. In your first audition, Sirine, what I felt was a really heartfelt moment in your audition, especially on national TV. This audition really stood out to me and I nearly got teary-eyed when I saw your little brother watching you, and he had tears.
I know.
See that sibling support, because I'm really close to my little brother too. That just melted my heart. I was like, oh my God. So how is it like to have that family support behind you? Your siblings, we see your dad on the show, your mom, everyone.
Yes, honestly, I think like my brother, he helps me a lot with everything. Like, for example, like even the simplest things like Instagram, he helps me a lot with. And music is another thing that obviously he isn't musical. He's more sporty, but yeah, he's definitely not musical. He just that bit of support, like, for example, I mean, at home when I'm singing, he's just like, oh, whatever, you sang.
Yeah,
but I think yeah, it's just siblings are like that. I think it was just totally different seeing me singing on stage, because I've never done it before. I mean, the most I've ever done is sing at school, and I even get nervous at school performances. But family support helped me so much with everything, and my parents are really supportive of everything.
Speaking
that I do.
out of your family, Sirine, your grandfather, he's an advisor to the Prime Minister of Pakistan.
Yes.
We see your dad on the show, so supportive. It's so beautiful to see the bond between you and
he is amazing.
So do you think it's a friendly competition? Maybe you're getting a bit more attention than your granddad now?
It's very weird to think.
Yeah. So how has it been with your granddad and your dad? Any wise words that told you anything you'd like to share?
My grandfather has always told me, like, whatever happens, we're all already proud of you, because getting this far has already been an achievement. And he, like, I'm only 15, like, and I've got like a whole life ahead of me to do stuff. And my grandfather's always like there to tell me that no matter what happens, you know, even when you fall, just get back up, because you're still young and you're still going to make loads and loads of mistakes in your life. And I have, and I've learned from them, and I still have so many more mistakes to make in my life. And yeah, so my whole family just are so supportive.
Yeah, semi-finals, very, very exciting, Sirine.
It
Before
is.
it was emotional for you towards the end. What was going through your mind?
Definitely, it really was emotional. I've rehearsed that song. You don't understand how many times I've rehearsed that song, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And I never cried once in any of my rehearsals. But when it came to singing on stage, I absolutely broke down. And the reason I think I broke down was because I've had so many. I always think of it in this way. I've had years and years leading up to that moment, and when I sang that last line, which was I know it hurts, it's hard to breathe sometimes, I just broke down because I really feel like I can connect with those words, and I feel like a lot of people can connect with those words. And the reason I broke down was because so I've obviously gone through struggles in my life, and especially last year, I struggled a lot with like accepting the fact that I couldn't see anymore and everything. And I just kind of thought back to all those years, especially last year, and how far I've made it, and I just absolutely broke down. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Sirine, I hope you're proud of yourself. I know you're critical. I hope you feel so proud, because we're so proud of you, you know. Take that first step to completely overwhelm everyone with your first performance, getting to the semi-finals. Like, in our eyes, you've already made it on the show, and I think it's such an amazing journey, and you're such a great example to everyone who's watching you. I wanted to ask you, Sirine, is it true that you've met Andrea Bocelli?
I have. Oh my gosh, yes, I have.
You have to tell the story.
Yes. So my mom's friend asked if I could meet Andrea Bocelli, and so my parents were like, "Oh yes, of course." And he invited us to the place where he was staying at his hotel, because I think he came to London to sing at a wedding, at a royal wedding. So I met him, and he was him and his wife were absolutely incredible. They're such lovely people, and yeah, because the thing is with Andrea Bocelli is that obviously he doesn't have any sight, and yet he's such an amazing person, and I was absolutely inspired by him. And I mean, the thing is, what's really funny is that he didn't understand, no, not understand, he did understand, but as in he didn't know anything about like the newest updates about like braille technology and everything. And what was really funny is I was showing him like what I use and stuff, and it was really nice. And yeah, I really like Andrea Bocelli.
That's so great that you have his support, and that both of you got to meet each other. I'm sure it was a pleasure for him to meet you as well. And before we leave it here, Sirine, I wanted to ask if for Real Life with Ridah show, if you could sing us something special.
You like me to sing? Okay. Okay, I'm just thinking, what should I sing?
Okay. Anything you feel like singing.
Okay, I'm actually right in front of my piano, which was really good.
Oh, that's perfect, yeah.
Let me go down a bit. Okay, let me go to it down. Okay. That was really awful.
Amazing, amazing, Sirine. Thank you so much. This afternoon has been so delightful talking to you, and I wish you all the best in everything you do, and you truly deserve all the success that's headed your way. Thank you very much, Sirine.